Hello everyone, it is me, D-Man#5, and today we're talking about the first 3 episodes of X-Men’97. Now, earlier in a couple videos I talked about this show. Now, I'm sorry that this episode is a bit late, past the first 3 episodes. I was watching the entire original series, so I would be up to date on like who the characters are, what stories they've already covered, and so I would just know everything. So I was up past like 5 a.m. one night watching the entire series, watching an entire season, and I was like, okay, 4th season, done. There's a 5th season. I was like, fuck. Then I read up, there wasn't meant to be a 5th season for the original show because they thought they were done. So yeah, so I've watched the entire show. I just want to say this, man, the Fox movie is really fucked up. But here, let's talk about X-Men’97. So if you don't know, X-Men’97 is the revival TV series of the X-Men show from the 90s. And it's the X-Men. It stars Cyclops, Rogue, Jean Grey, Gambit, Wolverine, Beast, Morph, and a bunch of other characters that we run into. And watching this, I don't know that much about the X-Men except for the show and the movies. I never read any X-Men comics, but I want to now. The only thing that I knew about them was that the movies weren't that good and that Cyclops was lame. Man, does the first episode prove to you that Cyclops isn't lame. I love this show. I love how just comic bookish it is. Because when I was watching the original series, I was like, are they gonna do stuff like this, or are they gonna not do stuff like this? No, it's the same thing. And also, one thing that I love, Wolverine's not that big of a character in this show. He's more of a side character, which is great. But he gets his focused episodes again in the original show, and I'm sure he'll get some later in this season. But it's mainly just been like the team and like other characters, and that's what I love. Because, well, there is a show called X-Men the Wolverine, but I don't want that. I just want, Wolverine and the X-Men, but I don't want that. I just want the X-Men, and this is what it gives us. Voice acting is top-notch. Animation is goddamn beautiful. I was comparing it to the original show, and of course, like, comparing it is, like, really bad, but fight scenes are a lot better. It's not as choppy, and there's not a lot of animation errors. The soundtrack and the theme song is badass. And I'm so happy that Marvel Animation is back and doing this, because I didn't realize how much we needed like good X-Men stuff, because this show is awesome. Anyways, so the story is, it takes place a year after Charles Xavier's assassination, which was the last episode of the original show. So this hasn't jumped ahead. It's only jumped ahead like 1 year, hasn't jumped ahead like up to us now, up to current time. And so far the X-Men have just been trying to deal with the loss of him. But there's some other things that are happening, like how Scott and Jean are having a baby. And if you know a bit about the X-Men, that baby is Cable, which is awesome. And we see Cable sometimes in the original show. So everyone's trying to deal with it, and then they run into this kid who I think it's Fire Fist, actually, from Deadpool 2, but it's not the same character. It's a different character who plays him. And they save him, and Cyclops gets his awesome intro. And the fight, I just want to say, the fight choreography and how everyone works together and how everyone uses their powers is so creative that there is no way you could do these characters correctly in live action. Animation is the perfect way to do these characters, because later in the episode, when Cyclops is like coming down from a crash landing, he uses his optic blast to literally give him like a safe landing. It's so cool. You've probably seen the clip over the internet 1,000 times, but I love that. I was never a big Cyclops fan, but I always thought he was cool. Like, his power is cool. It's lasers coming out of his eyes. It's awesome. But they never did anything cool with him in any of the other medias. And when they tried to reinvent him, it was done horribly. They just kept him how they wrote him, and they did a great job. And it's the same voice actor who does him, so he's got experience, and It's just great. Storm is awesome. She's an Omega level threat, and dude, I love how this show is just like anime. It's another Marvel anime, and I love it so much. But anyways, so they meet this kid, and it's kind of like the first season. They meet this kid. They bring him back to the X Mansion to try and get some answers. But he's like, I don't want to be free. This isn't. I don't want to be a part of this. And like, they handle a lot of like strong like real world problems, but they bring it in such a unique way, like acceptance, love, diversity. It's really cool, and I love how a show like X-Men can do that, because the X-Men were originally meant for something like that. They were meant to represent something like that, but now they mean something different in the current world, and it's really cool. Yeah, first episode, I just want to say, complete banger. I know I didn't cover a lot of like what it is, but go watch it. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but please go watch it. This is a really good show. At the end, we get revealed. This was in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler. Magneto was in Charles Xavier's last will and testament, and he owns the X-Men, or he will lead the X-Men, and he owns everything that Charles ever built, which is pretty cool. Then the second episode, Magneto is seen helping a lot of people, trying to show that he's actually changed. Then he's brought to the UN for a hearing because, well, he is a war criminal and terrorist over the last couple of years. So he has a trial, and it's all going well until Friends of Humanity, which is a mutant hate group, try to, basically raid the place and stop them. And it's crazy, because at that same time, Jean and Scott's baby is being born, and the only one who can like get them to the hospital is Wolverine. So Wolverine's driving them. Then Rogue goes to meet them there, but the doctor won't help them because he doesn't like want to give birth. He doesn't want to help deliver a baby. He doesn't believe in it. That's a good predicament. And guess who helps him? Rogue. This is so cool. She goes up to the doctor. She touches him, because Rogue's powers is if she touches someone, she gets their powers or their skills, but they also can kind of die. So she touches him. She gets the knowledge of how to be a doctor, and that's so cool. By the way, Rogue, hands down my favorite character. Her and Wolverine, I love them, along with Storm, Gambit, and then Cyclops. Oh my God, I love Rogue. She's so cool. I love her wittiness. I love her strong powers. I just love Rogue. I love her so much. So the baby is born, but then they're trying to stop the raid that's happening at the UN. And then there's a guy called the Executioner who shows up, who takes down everyone. And then, sorry about that, my camera died. This guy called the Executioner, he's got this gun that he's modified, and apparently it can take away mutant's powers. So he aims at Magneto, but then Storm comes to his rescue and takes the shot, and she loses her powers, and she's so destroyed over it. And I felt so sad, because I love Storm. Storm's like the best character in this show. She's so cool, and like the way they like draw her tears in this show is like, it's so heartbreaking. Then Magneto just loses it, and he takes the Executioner. He takes the jury, not the jury, the judges, up into the sky, and he just like cries. But then he's like, it's Charles's dream. He's got to do the right thing. And he explains everything. Then it's a really touching and really beautiful done animated scene. I definitely recommend you go watch this show. If you want like good superhero material, especially X-Men material, go watch it. And Genosha, which is an island that Magneto has created, now has become a national state, which is where a lot of mutants have gone for safe haven. And that's pretty cool. Next episode, at the end of this episode, is revealed that Jean Grey, the one who gave birth to Nathan Summers, is actually a clone. And in the next episode, it is like a horror-filled nightmare. Mr. Sinister is back. He takes the baby. He controls the clone of Jean Grey, and she becomes the Goblin Queen. And man, craziness just happens. The mansion like goes under like this. It like turns into like a haunted house, and there is swearing in the show, but not a lot. It's like the cool swearing, like more like someone is like, where are we? Then Morph just goes, I know where we are. We're in hell. It's hilarious. And then they go to track down Mr. Sinister, but it's already too late. He's put Nathan into this tank that's gonna give him like a virus, and it's really tough. They stop Mr. Sinister, but the toughest thing is that he was trying to make Nathan stronger by exposing him to this virus, and it was too late. Now he's just got to live with it. So Scott has to deal with letting go of his kid, and he doesn't want to abandon him like his father did. Again, you got to watch the original show to understand some of the characters' problems, but some of them are very relatable. But he understands that he has to like let go and let his son be. So they give him the Bishop, and Bishop, who is part of the team for a little bit, is a time traveler from the future, and he takes Nathan with him to go see Forge to help him get cured of his disease. And then later in this episode, by the way, during this episode, Storm has left the team. No, by the end of episode 2, she has left the team because she doesn't have her powers anymore. But then by the end of this one, she runs into Forge, a younger version of Forge. Forge is like in every single timeline. It's awesome. He runs into Storm and he says, I think I can help you get your powers back. Yes! I was so happy. And then the episode ends on a good note, and it's great. I know I didn't cover a lot of the first episode, but please, if you love X-Men, or if you just want to see like some good material from Marvel, or just X-Men material, or just want like another show to watch while Invincible's taking a while, or waiting for the next episode of Invincible, check out X-Men’97. It's a really good show. It's really cool. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. I had a lot of fun with these episodes. I can't wait for more, and I hope they make a season 2. And I have heard, this isn't confirmed, but I've heard some news that now that Marvel has their own animation again, like their own animation studio, they might revive some older TV shows, like the 90s Spider-Man show. And maybe, if we hope, Spectacular Spider-Man and Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's all I'm hoping for. But yeah, great show. Can't wait for the more episodes. I'll be covering them soon. And when they all come out. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.